The summer's blockbuster movies. Joyce has a report on Nightcast.
Tonight, a special edition of Evening Magazine as we bid farewell to a good friend here at WBZ. A salute to Barry Nolan in his 9 years here at Evening Magazine.
It's Barry Nolan's last show with us, and we'll be taking a look back at how he got here.
It's the very best of taste.
We'll see what he did well when he was here.
Well, I talked to the folks at the computer store, and they thought you should have the Apple II computer, and here they are from the computer store.
And some things he did not so well.
Chef Tell might be willing to make you some breakfast in bed. Oh!
All that and more as Evening Magazine bids farewell to Barry Nolan.
Again, you're at a disadvantage because you haven't done this show format before, but just make it up.
As with all melodramas, this one too has a beginning, one that started with a videotaped audition with Robin Young and a budding new talent.
Yeah. Now, you're based in New York and you're doing a lot of different things there right now. What are they?
I just finished being, it's a recurring role on The Doctors right now, as a very nerdy lawyer named George Dunn.
Funny, you don't look like a nerdy lawyer.
I act that way.
You won't have to worry about any of the details. I'll take care of everything for you. And naturally, the bills will be sent to your father.
Naturally. Mr. Dunn, couldn't we look at something a little less ostentatious?
Well, I would hardly call this ostentatious. It's the very best of taste.
And been doing I'm doing a commercial tomorrow, as a matter of fact, for some new, wonderful new cold product for Vicks that breaks the cough, sore throat cycle.
We'll send you back with pneumonia.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I've got to have a cough, so this is working out really well.
Hey there, good times, here I am.
Weeks later, Waller Barrett Smith, alias Barrett Nolan, alias Barry Nolan, found himself with a TV job in Beantown.
I've been freezing, sneezing out there where the bad times blow. Please don't stop to scold me. Let your loving arms enfold me. Hey there, good times, take my hand. Give my music to the band. Dust off that old welcome mat and show me where to hang my hat. I've been lost for all these years.
It's a tough act to follow, boy. I feel like Don Knotts going on for Johnny Carson after 17 years and sort of, hi, like me.
Hey there, good times, here I am. Hey there, good times.
Is it?
Breaking in early, that's what I say.
Didn't want to let this guy get time to get soft.
We didn't know what we were doing at first.
Well, some of this is kind of painful to see. I mean, I hadn't a clue.
You could see, even though you were sort of stumbling through the audition with Robin, there was that element of wit. It was like a diamond in the rough.
You're being kind. I'm afraid back then I really did take myself a bit too seriously.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. The new lad looks like he has talent, but he needs some work. Make that a lot of work.
This is CBGB's. It is to the rock world what Schwab's was to Hollywood. Remember the legend of Lana Turner? Discovered at Schwab's sipping the soda. And I suppose, 10 years from today, it's going to be embarrassing to listen to the stories I've been working on here recently. But, I guess life is a continually embarrassing look back at what you were 10 years ago anyway.
I remember the first time I met Barry Nolan, I was auditioning for the job, right? I'm sitting in the office, I'm very nervous, and all of a sudden, somebody runs in and screams right in my ear, boo. That's how the relationship started. I thought, who is this wacko? And it was downhill from there.
Do they have bird walks out here?
The birds should fly. What'd you hear? What'd you hear? You know you were getting close to a bird walk and you hear, hop! Hop! I mean, come on, this is not Walter Cronkite leaves after 50 years in broadcasting. He only said, goodbye, I'll be around some more, This is, some guy just after a nice job gets another job. Let's not make too much of it. One more time. That's the way it is. Tuesday, May 23rd.
Barry is someone who definitely improved with age. Maybe it was all those falls he took that knocked some sense into him. Notice I said some sense. And in just a moment, we'll see that he had a lot more to experience during his years on Evening Magazine.
It's exciting. It's teamwork.
Bob, look down.
Gee, what else do you want on your day off?
Hi, Barry. It's Robin out in Los Angeles. Boy, it seems like so long ago that I met you at the airport. And remember what a dork I thought you were? Well, I still think you're a dork, but you're my favorite dork. You know how much I love you. And all I can say from this side is just cherish this moment because it's so rare and so special when you get a hug from practically an entire city. Good luck.
Barry's been on the show 9 years. We've been doing the show together for 8 years, and this is so strange
Well, it
doing a
is, pal.
goodbye show with you. My gosh.
It's neat to have seen you change so much over the years,
The
too.
hair, especially, over the years. I think I started out with it this long. But Barry and I were talking. We figured out that one year we traveled 150,000 miles. That was the year we went to India, Ireland, Jamaica, Switzerland.
That's 6 times around the Earth, 150,000 miles.
Couldn't have a better traveling companion. Well,
Yeah, but boy, we sure did see some interesting stuff. It's a job that join evening, see the world. They're looking for a few so-so men. Be all that you can be. Here in the basement of the Palais, you will find the marché, the marketplace. This is where a great deal of the business takes place. This is really like the home show or the boat show. You can visit little booths that tell you about the product they have to sell. The product is films from around the world.
It's a very good life, yes. You are very exceptional here in Stad to meet so many exclusive people.
Well, it's true. On the slopes of a resort community like Stad, you just never know who might ski by.
You seen David Bowie?
Never wanted to eat eel before. It's something psychological, but here, it seems like you got to give it a try.
You try it first.
Right.
Tell me how you like it. If you like it, I'll try it. Well, that's the verdict.
I like it.
To get a real taste of what the early Polynesians experienced, Bob invites the more adventurous kayakers on an ocean trip.
Those kind of things, when you go and you have a chance to really interact with some of the people, like going out into the desert with the Bedouins. I mean, if I had just gone as a tourist, I never would have made the trip out there to sit around and have pita bread with an old Bedouin woman. And it's one of the moments that really, really sticks with you.
An elephant's physical beauty is as closely examined as a thoroughbred horse's. To the Anakambakarans, the height and bulk, the shape of an elephant's eyes and forehead all contribute to the beauty of the elephant. And some elephant maniacs have been so taken by the beauty of the beasts, it's created something akin to cattle rustling. This mountain embodies the Balinese view of the delicate balance between good and evil.
In new religions, we trust with the mountains, that place of God. I call it Lingo.
The mountain is the place of God.
Yeah.
I've always figured that the part of the job was to be like Walter Mitty's Great Adventure, you know, the average slob that goes out there and tries things that he's not going to be particularly good at.
Drive home.
The Outward Bound trip was really probably one of my favorite things because it was, you know, any time in real life if you go camping with your friends or fishing and it starts raining and it's cold and there's no fish and you're eating cold Spam and you're sitting around thinking, why did we do this? That's what a lot of those adventures are like, that while you're doing them, sometimes you're thinking, whose idea was this?
Though for most of the winter here on Mount Washington, the weather is as bad as weather ever gets. The visibility is near zero. The temperature can plunge to -20, -30 with a wind that can blow a man off of his feet. The landscape is totally bleak and barren. There is a kind of grandeur to it, revealing the sort of stark beauty and the power that can only be found in nature.
At one point, you find yourself going through these maneuvers where I was so turned around, I had no idea what we were actually doing. All I know is that one moment, my stomach is being pushed down in the seat. The next moment, it's floating up out of the place, and then pushed and up. And after a few of those, you're just beginning to think, I remember so vividly what I had for breakfast right now, and it was all a mistake.
I hope one of the things the show did was encourage some of those people that are not going to be any better at it than we are to go out and try their hand at things they're going to goof up at, but just have fun.
I believe him when he says it's safe, and I know he's an expert, but there is not enough money in all of Switzerland to induce me to jump off this mountain in that lawn chair.
There are all levels of challenge for climbers in these mountains. This climb is called the Ribbon, for experts only. My instruction begins at the bottom of a 130-foot deep ravine called the Pit. I had this great idea to go up and do a story up by the Arctic Circle up in Frobisher Bay, and we went up there, and it was so dark we couldn't shoot. It was so grim, it wouldn't have made a very good story anyway. And, you know, I've still got the tapes up on my desk of the miserable story that never was.
This is the first shot we've been able to make outside without the sun gun. We've gone about 40 minutes before we have to be back on the plane.
Bear, what are you going to get for birthday this year?
Fired.
One day I was just going to be too darn old to do this show anyway, so it looked kind of silly going down the water slide in a walker or whatever, so.
A beautiful job.
It can never be said that one conquers a mountain, for Rainier merely allowed us to achieve her peak this day, allowed us that unforgettable pride that we have endured the journey up the mighty summit of...
You're a tough dude.
Barry, climbing Mount Rainier, that looked like the ultimate thrill.
It was really one of the great moments for me, and especially I thought for a while I wasn't going to make it. I was so exhausted, and it was embarrassing because the crew had already made it up there, and they're carrying all the heavy stuff, you know, the cameras and the batteries, and gee, the crews have just been so great to work with over the years.
Well, now that you're going, I'm a little panicked. I think I will be taking over all the adventure stories, and they've planned Kilimanjaro and Everest, but I'm going to take the escalator to the top.
I've already penciled in a slime diving story.
Thanks, Bear.
The toughest thing about leaving, though, really, is saying goodbye to all the great friends, the people we've met over the years.
And coming up next, we'll take a look at some of the extraordinary people Barry met along the way.
It's been 3 months, and when we brought Jamie out, she was dying. Probably the best reason and the thing that can make us most excited is our daughter Jamie, and here she is.